Alright, I'd like to welcome everybody to my very first CoDcast. This is a game of Hardpoint at Standoff. You can see everybody rushing towards the first hardpoint there. This actually ended up being a shutout game for us. This was our first one. We've been really close a few times, but, you know, they've had like 7 points, 20 points, whatever it may be. They didn't end up getting any here. And generally, I like to rush in and stay in the hardpoint and try and stay hidden as much as possible and just kind of let my team sit around the outside. And, you know, just keep people at bay while I can stay in there. I don't like to take shots unless they're completely necessary. I'll just stay as hidden as possible, just to avoid, you know, drawing any attention to myself. That way I can stay in there and contest it, even if anybody does get in it. Got Ted Pants out here trying to hold down the outside a little bit while I'm staying inside. And the biggest thing that I have to say about Hardpoint is always watch the timer. You know, try and leave 1 or 2 players in it, and then have it, you know, 1 or 2 rushing the next hard point to get in it. And you can see that I'm doing that here. And as soon as I climb in that window, the hard point changes, and then we're already getting points. And right now I'm in that by myself, but my team will be there shortly as they push in and, you know, clear out the way on the way to it.
Friendly UAV inbound. Friendly hunter-killer drone deployed.
And then once we, you know, have it locked down, you know, get Bettys around it, Claymores, whatever your team likes to run, you know, you can have a few people push back out and just keep people at bay again, you know, but you want to keep at least 1 or 2 people in there. I like to have 3, but, you know, it's whatever your team's preference is. And I honestly cannot stress enough, watch the timer, you know, and that's probably what has messed us up on the other games where we almost had shutouts. We wouldn't be watching the timer and they would already be waiting in the next hard point on us, and, you know, and they'd get those couple points. I try to pay super close attention to that, and, you know, it's probably about 5 seconds off the timer on here, and I'm pushing into this next hard point, getting set up, throwing a Betty downstairs to, you know, basically as a teammate downstairs, and then I can watch these 2 windows myself. You know, they're shooting rockets in there, and I'm not going to push out and die and lose the hard point. I'm going to stay in here and stay hidden until my team gets there to back me up.
Friendly UAV inbound. Friendly hunter-killer drone deployed.
Because if I were to run out there and get shot, then, you know, that's 30 seconds that they can hold the hard point before we can push our way back in. And, you know, obviously I'm going to take those shots when they're contesting it right next to me. But other than that, I just want to stay as hidden as possible. And then, you know, I've called out, you know, to let my team to, you know, to go to the next hard point and try and push that, since this one has about 20 seconds left. You know, you want to make sure you have plenty of time to get into it. Now that I've got to help up here, I'm risking the peek out the window. I do have some teammates with me now. Another thing that I like to run when I'm playing Hardpoint is Ghost and Flak Jacket, because obviously people are using lots of rockets, lots of grenades, you know, anything that blows up, and it can, you know, make or break your game, whether you win or lose, you know. Another thing that I like to run in Hardpoint are low score streaks. You know, if you have Stealth Chopper and Dogs and, you know, any of that stuff, you know, you're not going to get that as often if you're actually playing the objective and always pushing that hard point and trying to hold it. Now, if you're playing outside the hard point, then, you know, those players on your team might be able to push those higher score streaks, but when you're the one that's inside it, you're not likely to get anything like that. So I like to have UAV and, you know, Hunter Killer or Care Package or Guardian. Usually I prefer the Guardian, but this time I changed it up in this game, because the Guardian usually acts as another teammate, basically guarding the door for you while you can watch another entrance. And they actually had the hard point there for just a millisecond, and I was literally terrified at that point. I thought they got a point, but I was able to rush in there and take that guy out of there real quick. If they would have had it, you know, for just another millisecond longer, they would have got those points.
Objective almost complete. Don't quit now.
Generally, I run the laser sight, but right now I've got long barrel on it, just trying to get a feel for that to see if that was any different. But I really like to hip fire that MP7. I think at one point in time my highest kill streak was about 10, so, you know, I probably could have had a Stealth Chopper at that point in time, but, you know, the off chance that happens every game is fairly slim when you're always rushing the objective. the biggest thing I can say with Hardpoint is communicate. Make sure you're talking to your team, calling up, all right, I got a guy, left door, back door, whichever it may be. Just always communicate, and, you can get that 250 to 0 game just like we did here. I hope everybody enjoyed.